Christy. Welcome to the SOAR Show. I'm Kathleen.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Carrie, and we're back at one of our favorite places, Champy's in Murfreesboro. It's just fun to be out.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
They let us in the front door.
This is awesome food. They don't even have a freezer. Everything is fresh here at Champy's, and their original location is in Chattanooga. So those fans watching in Chattanooga, support your Champy's.
Yeah.
You'll like it, we promise. Good atmosphere. All right. Well, we don't have Sheila with us today because she's busy, but we are going to talk today about unintended consequences of everything. Kathleen kind of had this idea, and it's about really referring to Newton's law, where for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. Well, it's very good because never before are we so aware of a reaction or an outcome that is in response to someone's behavior.
Well, and we've talked about this. I think we talked about it even on last week's show, that even like you take the COVID, and at first I think it was just kind of like, what are we going to do? And look at how so many people, we have people that invented board games and people that changed their jobs, and they ended up doing the opposite. I'm an extrovert, and I sort of learned how to become an introvert a little bit, and just was a little more quiet and did a lot more writing.
I've enjoyed time to just sit and be with me, and versus all the way we run around all the time. And I've heard other people say that too. They're getting more quality time with their family and time to think.
So I'm going to challenge each of you all that are watching this, and maybe even for us, don't lose sight of that. Even as we're starting to venture out, we're in a restaurant and we're venturing out, the good things that you learned from COVID, hang on to those.
Yeah, don't forget what that moment may have taught you, and that it was probably came about in our lives for a reason. If you believe in God, or for whatever reason, we were all meant to stay home a little bit. I think I've enjoyed it. But yeah, so we have the COVID, and then we have the George Floyd, and then look what one man's actions did to the entire world. One man's unthinkable actions, or 4 men, but mainly one, did, and gosh, he never dreamed on that day, behaving in the manner that he behaved, that he would create this all over. But then people reacted, and look at what their reactions have caused, with damaged buildings and people out of work even longer. So wow, what a good topic,
Right? Even on a smaller scale, I think about parenting. And I have some stubborn children that are a lot like their mother. They're very stubborn.
Yeah.
So when they were young, the unintended consequence of an argument with them is if I let them win, the next time that issue came up, it got worse and worse and worse. So I was mindful that I needed to pick my battles. But once I did, I had to stick to my guns, because the unintended consequences of giving in a little bit just made it so much worse.
Okay, I thank you for saying that. That's what's going on. And start to go back to our country real quick. But when you give in a little bit, you look at the chaos.
Yeah.
Look at the chaos. So it just can't happen. That's why you have to have a law. You have to have police. You have to have a president. Because what else are you going to get? If you let your kids take over, then you don't have control of your household. So that's a great point.
That is true.
Even on a small level, who's in charge? You gotta have a boss.
Maintain the control.
Yeah. Gotta have the police in the house and the police in the world.
And I like the term angel advocate instead of devil advocate, but an angel advocate, a flip side of that is also, like my daughter and I got in a very huge argument last night, but also as a parent of being able to kind of say this morning, hug and say, my bad. It was my bad, I snapped at something, and being able to say, hey, you're dealing with being 17 for the first time, I'm dealing with being 50 for the first time, and just trying to work it out.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
That is huge.
And say, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mom messed up.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's true too with parenting, because I thought about that too a little bit when we were coming here. Is sometimes you can get caught up in I'm the mom. I said so because I said so because I'm mom, and your kids really deserve more respect than that. Why? So that they understand. If you're just laying down the law because I said so, what are they really learning from that? So I don't know. I think you want your kids to always respect you when you get older, and they want to look back and go, wow, mom really taught me a lot because she explained it.
Okay, this is an awesome point. Y'all know I've got a doctorate degree in education, and it's in child and youth. And what Carrie said is so important. If you're a parent out there and you are caught in the habit of saying, because I said so, because I'm an adult, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. You got to educate.
Yeah.
I know it's hard, and what Carrie just said is key. And why can't you go outside without shoes on? Why can't you go run around, without a coat on and it's 30 degrees? Teach and educate the why.
Yeah, and you know what you're doing when you do that? You're giving them respect. You're saying, I respect you enough that you deserve an explanation. And I want to hear your input back to me. But to shut a child down, you're not instilling any self-respect for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Back to our law of physics.
Just
you have
switch
to
to
let,
parenting.
Yeah. You have to let them experience the unintended consequences of their actions.
Mm-hmm.
If you're always the safety net and they never have the consequences, they don't learn and grow and realize that they shouldn't make that mistake or that decision the next time.
But I think about it with our business, with real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a little tussle right now with another agent who represents a builder over something as simple as a fence. And I feel like it's one of those things where someone thinks it's more important to win their way versus look at what are we all trying to do, which is get a happy customer. Because what happens when you have a happy customer? You have someone who is an advocate for you down the road, for the builder and for the agents involved. But to just win and think you won, but someone's not happy, the unintended consequence of that is negativity down the road.
Right.
And you know how fast negativity spreads.
That's awesome. So you can apply that to your work, to being a parent, to your marriage, to your relationships. That's powerful.
To your business.
Yeah.
So think about every move, even road rage. Even road rage. You know what? Okay, so listen. Here's two negatives and positives to unintended consequences that we do not think about every day.
Okay.
All right, let's take negative. Road rage. You think, oh, I can't believe he didn't let me in. So then you rush down the road and you block them off or something. So you've just created all this negativity, which creates rage, which could create an accident.
You might be describing me.
Okay. I mean, I think at some point in time, we've all just like, oh my gosh, we're so mad because someone like got in front of us or behind us or wouldn't let us in. But think about this now. Here's a whole different action. Think about when you're in line, like at Starbucks or McDonald's, and you just think, oh, I'll pay for the person's coffee behind me. And then you trigger that, and when the unintended consequence here is you pay for one person's cup of coffee, but now 20 people got their coffee paid for because you started a chain.
Yes, that has happened.
Yeah, so start a positive unintended consequence.
Okay, so your challenge for everybody watching is the next drive-through you go through, please pay for the person behind you. That's a good memory to do, the reminder. Thank you. Yeah, that's your challenge.
So purposely create positive unintended consequences. And if you're really living your life and not living it self-driven, but more for other people, I think all you can have are usually positive unintended consequences. But when we're just out fighting for ourselves, we're going to create some guilty one somewhere, I think. Yeah, have we got a health tip?
We do. We have a health tip, and I'm going to steal Kit Kat's thunder, and I'm also going to turn it into a current event.
All right.
What happens this Saturday?
Oh,
It's a current event. So this Saturday is the first day of summer. So yes, so my health tip is get out there and enjoy the first day of summer. Celebrate it. Eat some fresh berries.
Yeah.
Tis the season, absolutely. Go swimming.
Get some
Invite
sun.
yourself. Get some sun. Get some vitamin D. Celebrate it. Toast the sunset with an adult beverage or iced tea if you want to. But celebrate summer.
Eat an ice cream cone.
Yes, eat an ice cream cone. Yes. Take off your shoes, run around in the grass, get grounded, which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, celebrate summer.
For one day, don't worry, be happy. It's the first day of summer.
So yeah.
Very good.
Cool. Well, that's our current event. Sheila's not here. We don't have a fun fact. We'll get back to that next
In
time.
fact, we happen to know Sheila's going to be celebrating summer. I'm
Yeah,
ratting her
on
out.
the
Sheila's
lake.
on the lake. I'm just being honest.
She's gonna be celebrating
She's
summer.
celebrating her lake. Okay.
Yay, that's our quick little show for this week. Y'all have a good week.
Take
Try
time
out
to-
Champions.
And take time to
Soar.